What if I told you that a boy who could barely speak until the age of 4, a student whose teachers believed he was slow, a young man who couldn't even get a proper job after graduation, would one day change the way humanity understands time, space, and reality itself? This is not fiction. This is not a movie. This is the true story of Albert Einstein, the man who bent time. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in a small town in Germany. Nothing about his birth suggested greatness. His family was simple, middle class, and ordinary. As a child, Albert was quiet and deeply thoughtful. He didn't speak fluently until he was around 4 years old. His parents worried. His teachers misunderstood him. In school, he disliked memorizing facts without understanding the logic behind them. He asked too many questions. He challenged authority. Some teachers labeled him as mentally slow. One even said he would never amount to anything. But what they saw as weakness was actually something powerful: deep curiosity. When Albert was 5 years old, his father showed him a small magnetic compass. The tiny needle kept moving on its own, always pointing in the same direction. There were no visible hands pushing it, no strings pulling it, just an invisible force guiding it. That moment changed him forever. He realized there were hidden forces in the universe that humans could not see, yet they were real. From that day on, he became obsessed with understanding the invisible rules that govern reality. As he grew older, he continued to struggle within the traditional education system. He didn't fit into rigid classrooms. He wanted to understand why, not just memorize what. As a teenager, he moved to Switzerland and applied to a prestigious technical institute in Zurich. He failed the entrance exam on his first attempt. The future genius of the world had failed. But failure did not stop him. He studied harder, returned the next year, and passed. After graduating, however, he faced another harsh reality. No university offered him a teaching position. No professor recommended him. Doors remained closed. Eventually, he accepted a modest job at a Swiss patent office, reviewing other people's inventions. To the outside world, it looked like a dead end, a brilliant mind stuck in paperwork. But in that quiet office, something extraordinary was happening. Between reviewing patents, Albert imagined impossible scenarios. He asked himself a strange question. What would it be like to ride alongside a beam of light? That simple thought experiment would transform physics forever. In 1905, at just 26 years old, while still working at the patent office, Einstein published 4 scientific papers in a single year. That year would later be called his miracle year. In one paper, he explained the photoelectric effect, proving that light behaves not just as a wave, but also as tiny particles called photons. This discovery would later become the foundation of modern technology like solar panels and electronic devices. For this work, he would win the Nobel Prize in physics. In another paper, he proved the existence of atoms at a time when many scientists were unsure they were real. But his most shocking idea came in the form of special relativity. Einstein proposed that time itself is not fixed. Time moves differently depending on speed. The faster you travel, especially close to the speed of light, the slower time passes for you. It sounded unbelievable, yet mathematically, it was undeniable. And then came a simple equation that would become the most famous formula in history. E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. This small equation revealed a powerful truth. Matter and energy are interchangeable. A tiny amount of mass could produce an enormous amount of energy. This idea would later unlock nuclear power and, tragically, nuclear weapons. Einstein was no longer an unknown patent clerk. The scientific world began to notice him. But he wasn't finished yet. In 1915, he introduced his general theory of relativity. He reimagined gravity not as a simple force pulling objects together, but as the bending of space and time itself. According to Einstein, massive objects like the sun curve the fabric of space around them, and planets move along those curves. It was a radical way of seeing the universe. In 1919, during a solar eclipse, scientists tested his theory by observing how starlight bent around the sun. The results matched Einstein's predictions perfectly. Overnight, he became the most famous scientist in the world. Newspapers across the globe celebrated him as a genius. His image, wild hair, kind eyes, thoughtful expression, became the symbol of intelligence itself. But fame did not change his personality. He valued simplicity. He loved playing the violin. He believed imagination was more important than knowledge, because knowledge is limited, while imagination has no boundaries. Yet the world around him was changing rapidly. As Nazi power rose in Germany, Einstein, who was Jewish, fled to the United States. He understood the danger. He understood how knowledge could be misused. During World War II, he warned American leaders that Germany might be developing atomic weapons. His warning contributed to the beginning of the Manhattan Project. When atomic bombs were dropped in 1945, the destruction shook him deeply. Though he did not directly build the bomb, his equation made it possible. He later expressed regret and became a strong advocate for peace, reminding the world that scientific power must be guided by moral responsibility. Einstein spent his later years in Princeton, continuing to think, question, and search for deeper truths about the universe. He never stopped being curious. He never stopped imagining. When he passed away in 1955, his body left the world, but his ideas remained alive. Today, every time your GPS calculates location, it adjusts for time dilation predicted by relativity. Every solar panel capturing sunlight reflects his understanding of the photoelectric effect. Every modern physics discovery builds upon his foundation. The universe we understand today is shaped by his vision.